He said S gratia.
Can you imagine?
And I don't earn S gratia. So OSP detains 2 ex-GRA gurus, but the story is actually 3 people from GRA who the officials are dealing with. Galamsey Task Force, a nationwide operation. Ghana now hosts over 100 Chinese-owned manufacturing firms. This is according to Julius Debra, and some other stories on the front page of the Inquisitor.
Now, I mean, quick one on that. Ghana owns one.
Ghana hosts over 100 Chinese-owned manufacturing firms. You know, there was a Ghana-China forum. Was it yesterday or Monday?
How many Ghanaian-owned manufacturing firms do you have?
Oh, we have a lot.
Okay.
We have quite a lot.
That should be our focus going forward.
We have quite a lot, but the scale.
You see, that should be our focus going forward. Because you must always think also about ownership of your economy.
Yeah.
It's one of the things we don't talk about. No. Who owns the Ghanaian economy?
Taking commanding heights of the Ghanaian economy.
That's what we should be talking about.
And Winston, what you're talking about is on the front page of the Ghanaian Point, because Julius Debra is also captured here saying that we want more Chinese manufacturers to set up in Ghana. So that's what perhaps government is also looking at. It's on the front page of the Ghanaian Point. And then the bigger story is about Galamsey as well. We are not involved in Galamsey. We stand by the visions and principles of President John Mahama. That's according to the National Security Coordinator, DCOP Abdul Osman Razak. Then the story has been trending for some days now, but the Ghanaian Point is also talking about it. It says University of Ghana School of Law applauds Ibrahim Mahama for generous cement donation to new complex. For many who don't have the background, you know, his pledged support for the construction of the new law school, and he's giving, I understand, the cement required for the entire construction. That is the report on the streets, but maybe Winston will now come in and you know, commit to something else. I don't know what else you are committing to there.
Winston will supply all the meat the workers need for the duration.
Someone is giving cement. Give something.
I actually put a post on Facebook that actually farming no be easy.
Yeah, I saw that.
I woke up Monday morning. I was with Kojo, and I was told that my tank full of water and everything down.
Yeah.
That's when you know that Charlie, you have to go and look for money. My guy, don't worry. When I make money, I'll do these things.
Talking about money, the news center leads with a big money story. 1.8 billion Ghana cedis paid for public lighting, but street lights, traffic lights don't function. NPA's actions caused $40 million loss to us. This is the Chamber of Bulk Oil Distributors. It's related to the Lakan issues at the port and how, according to the Seaboard, some vessels are unable to offload their consignments because the NPA usually will change the schedules and it costs them demurrage, and it's costing them about $40 million. Now, NIA staff declare indefinite strike over unpaid allowances. This story also says that they've decided to go on strike because some allowances that were paid because they earned very low wages have not been paid for some time now, so now they are going on strike. NPP summons flag bearer hopefuls to ease tensions, and Mohammed's Supreme Court picks cleared after stormy debates in Parliament. And
maybe it's a good time to say congratulations to all the 7 nominees. Now they are Supreme Court justices. So the Daily Graphic is also talking about that. Says Parliament approves President's 7 nominees to the Supreme Court. Then the royal visit, which we don't seem to be talking about this morning a lot, but the King of Eswatini has been speaking about that. He's been espousing the vision that Africa needs more internal trade. So that's the bigger story on the Daily Graphic this morning. Then the NPP story about the flag bearer elections, the timeline sparking controversy are equal to the former Attorney General has also been weighing in. Italy is converting 70% of Ghana's debt to grants. Yesterday, when the Speaker was announcing the number of countries and creditor committee members that we have to settle, Italy was one of them. It appears that they are giving us some goodies. So some cash.
He must be happy. He doesn't have to deal with Italian debts.
But the grants, obviously, you have to meet the terms, and I hope we do meet the terms that they're giving us. Anyway.
Anyway, the custodian Seaboard fires NPA for disobeying presidential order. This is still related to the other story in the other newspaper. Albert tipped to retain GJA presidency. Elections committee dismisses petition. NDC voters
the
back.
Chief of Staff is here, so you have to be mindful.
Who's that?
The usual suspect is here.
This is Albert Jumfor, GJA president. NDC voters back in NPP 2028 race. APL survey reviews.
The APL survey, the interviewed NDC members. the interviewed NDC members.
Charlie, one of these days
to find out whom they support.
We should dissect the political stories, the angles, the nuances, the numbers, the data, the insights. I'm saying NDC voters back in.
Because well, then if that's the case,
yes.
I don't know whether people look at this, but if you say the NDC are backing a candidate, they probably will be backing a candidate they don't want you to elect.
Yeah,
is that the case? I don't know.
I don't think it's far-fetched as well, because if you look at the story of Alan, you want to have that posture where you try and convince your party delegates that, well, I'm the one who is able to easily reach out to the other camp. So maybe that's the angle from which these researchers are trying to look at it, to see if Ken will be the one to indeed go and just pull back some votes and following from the NDC side.
He'll be the one the people know that their candidate can easily beat.
Yeah. That could also be a strategy for the NDC members.
Okay, more stories from the custodian. There's a photo of the Savelugu MP on the front page. Beside her is the Achuman Punia MP, and the story says minority demands immediate recall of sacked BOG staff and NIA staff on strike over unpaid allowances. Now, if you go to the new publisher, 12-year-old boy hanged naked and tortured. The update is that the police has arrested the people involved in this. Minority vote against all 7 new justices to the Supreme Court. NPP summons flag bearer hopefuls. Schoolgirl dies while visiting boyfriend in Kaswa. And Mahama pushes for July 1 holiday.
The Daily Analyst is talking about COVID-19 again. This time around at the University of Ghana. University of Ghana records suspected and confirmed cases. We need to perhaps go into the details later on. They are also talking about the visit of the king of Eswatini, and police warns public against fake recruitment scam. Then it's not just money. Integrity counts. That's according to Oseiche Mensah-Bonsu, who is firing, according to the Daily Analyst, Kennedy A. Japan.
And finally, the Accra Times. World Bank UK support Parliament to build capacity of MPs. NPA boss allays fears Ghana has enough fuel. Ayariga Afenyomark and Lord World Bank UK facility. And Ghana Cylinder Manufacturing Company to boost energy sector presents its 2025 work plan to Parliament. Now, on the Ghana-US visas processing scandal, principal actors accounts frozen at Black Hotels Parliament.
The Ghanaian publisher is talking about COP Kofi Boachi, remove Kofi Boachi from police council. That's a businesswoman who's actually petitioned the Supreme Court to decide on the matter. Patrick Boama donates cash to the Ghana Pentecostal and Charismatic Council. Is also captured on page 8 of the Ghanaian publisher. Then restoring Songo Lagoon. Electrochem gets down chief's backing, and MPP race Baumia pulls ahead. Is also on page 3 of the Ghanaian publisher. So these are some of the stories there.
Okay, I'm interested in the Eswatini King's visit to Ghana. As a man who loves Africa, we should be visiting one another. So I'm happy he's here, and we need to have more Ghanaians visiting Eswatini.
In fact, I was reading a funny comment online that per their culture, you can't look directly into the eyes of the wife of the king of Eswatini. That is what I'm reading.
Yes.
And someone came down to comment that then in Ghana, I'm sure that by the time he's leaving, so many people will be arrested because
no, but you see, even when you traditionally, if you say that your friend's wife is beautiful, you're a suspect.
It's not correct.
You have to be careful, so don't pass comments.
Yeah,
just let it go. Don't go and be passing comments. Oh, your wife is beautiful. Nobody has asked for your comment. Keep it to yourself. So DJ Agric, George Chris says, Massa, tell DJ Agric to move to Chado and stop whining about traffic.
DJ George Quay, how are you? How are you?
You know, he has a play.
You want me to come to your house?
he has a play coming up. The Death and the King's Horseman. That's a play I'd love to see.
Yeah.
Death and the King's Horseman by Wole Soyinka.
You mean Death and the King's Horseman?
You're on your own.
Let me bring you the story from my Joe Online. SML scandal. Former GRA Commissioner General, 2 others in custody. Cocoa farmers optimistic about bumper harvest in 2025-2026 season. Minority slums unlawful dismissal of Bank of Ghana staff. Demands immediate reinstatement. NPP invites presidential hopefuls. Government sued over the appointment of COP Kofi Boachi to police council, and GBA President Abraham Kote Nikwe announces resignation, cites personal reasons. Now, NPP primaries, you can be an old guy, but if you are incompetent, you won't win. This is Asa Asante speaking. And please rescue abused boy in viral video. Arrest the 2 people involved. Now, the GBA I mentioned is not the Ghana Bar Association. It's the Ghana Boxing Authority. So for those who Ghana Boxing Association, not Ghana Bar Association. So for those who think the Ghana Bar Association president, that's not it. Now, if you go to citynewsroom.com, university administrators threaten strike over unresolved salary and allowance issues. Post 2024 dynamics favor Kenya Japan over Baumia. This is according to Rocky Obeng, and the same Rocky Obeng says over 600 kilometers of Western North roads were constructed under his tenure. Interesting. We need to go and verify some of these things. If you've traveled to the Western North, you know the nature of some of the roads, and those are stories on City Newsroom.
And probably we should chip this in because Daily Graphic is talking about that, the nature of our roads and the future of it, because the back page, you'd have it, it's not captured interestingly on the front page. It says stalled road projects due to debt. That's according to the Roads and Highways Minister. So probably something we should be paying attention to. Obviously blaming the previous administration for not paying off.
And Winston and Blizzard, let me take you to the High Street Journal this morning because they are asking a very important question. Why are we still paying the toll debt recovery levy while the debt keeps rising? Why are we still paying that levy? It's a big question that they are asking. And the other one is, will the government revisit the fuel levy now that global oil prices are falling? These are 2 big stories on the High Street Journal website.
Okay, it means we can get into the details of
Yes.
Maybe we should talk about the roads then, because the Minister for Roads and Highways, Kwame Gavin Zagbocha, has disclosed that almost all road projects across the country are currently stalled due to debt. Now, he says that the projects had stalled as a result of the unsustainable levels of awarding road projects without any regard for the availability of funds. Then he continues to say, quote, the previous government awarded road projects without regard for the availability of funds. There's also a portion where he's saying, quote, we will do this as part of a big push to prioritize the completion of some roads, which he says includes, for instance, the 33.4 kilometers of Angkor and Soam road dualization project. So that's key on the agenda for the road minister, in spite of the debt that is being recorded in this sector.
Whilst we talk about finding money, let's engage the contractors to make good certain portions of the roads that are creating problems for commuters, so that at least whilst we deal with the money issues, commuters can easily also get to their destinations. Now I'll take you to my Joe Online. The big story, SML scandal. Former GRA Commissioner General, 2 others in custody. The story says a former Commissioner General of the Ghana Revenue Authority, Reverend Dr. Amishada Usuamwa, and 2 former officials of the GRA are in custody over their roles in the SML scandal, according to information exclusively available to manassehazuri.com. The other 2, according to sources at the OSP, are Dr. Isaac Krenzel, a former Commissioner of Customs, and Christian Tetesoti, a former technical advisor to the Commissioner of the GRA. The 3 former GRA officials, 2 of whom now work for Strategic Mobilization Limited, spent last night in the cells of the NIB, formerly BNI. They were placed in custody after they failed to meet bail conditions following their questioning and arrest by the Office of the Special Prosecutor. The SML scandal was revealed in an investigative documentary by 3 former reporters of the Fourth Estate, Evans Aziamo Mensa, Adrado Biowusu, and Manasseh Azuri Awuni, after a year's extensive investigation into the shady operations of SML. So that's the big story for the morning.
The story, Winston, also about COP Kofi Boakye retired. I hear there's a businesswoman who is in court now. The name is being confirmed now by the Ghanaian publisher. The name is Henrietta Nana Yao Simpson. She's going to the Supreme Court, asking the Supreme Court to declare as now void and unconstitutional the appointment of the retired police couple as a member of the Ghana Police Council. So that story is also on page 2 of the Ghanaian publisher.
And this morning we have the big conversation coming at 9 a.m. and the topic is about how strategically we are running the country, right? David Ofosudote is speaking, Professor Bobkin is speaking as well.
Humphrey Ayimdake would also be joining us. And
related to that conversation, I want to bring back some of the things we've been discussing on fuel. You know, High Street Journal is asking questions about TOR. They're asking questions whether we'll bring back the fuel levy. Now, the MPA boss's story is still in the newspapers, and I'd like to draw attention to it and refer to something on the NPA's website to show you that we still need to do better. Now, he's allaying fears, and he says Ghana has enough fuel. And speaking at Royal Senchi during the Energy Committee of Parliament meetings, they had a retreat. He disclosed that Ghana currently has over 200 million litres of petrol and more than 150 million litres of diesel reserve, quantities which, according to him, was sufficient to stabilize the market in the medium term. In fact, some papers reported that, in fact, it's here, and I quote, he said, "I can assure the good people of Ghana that currently, as we speak, we have enough stock or reserve to last us beyond 2 months." Now, Winston, if you check the MPA's domestic national supply for 2025, in January and February, right, we used 500 million litres of petrol and 420 million litres of diesel.